This is probably naive optimism, but I'm going to be optimistic that this is the last time that I have to do a video of this nature because it seems like I know what the problem is. The problem is, as I've said, the devs at Libero suck at explaining what the heck's going on. And again, I would love to do the video. I'm not doing it for free. This is a business. I'd love to do it for you. I already have it in my head, but I'm not doing it for free. So I had someone in the community, in the Libero community, reach out and said, I'll pay you direct. And I don't mind that, but I think it's wrong because I think either you do it as a community thing and you all agree this is what we need to do, and you all agree Leicester's various coverage that he's done has by far and away increased interest in the product and helped people understand what this is doing because he's been fair and right down the middle, but he's also been clear more than what's already out there. And we think it's worth paying to have him do the image so that we can help explain to folks because there's so much confusion. This audio you're hearing now was, let's say, inspired by another readout on social media. And if you've listened to my show for a while, you know that I'm a podcast for the people. And I want to respond when I see that either it's flat out incorrect or it's a straight question given in respect. That rhymes. So, Rich to be one day on Twitter says, I asked the question first because I did my video and I challenge you to go back and listen to it on LIBERA, and I did the best I could to break down what the LIBERA mechanics are designed to do. And then I did another one where I was talking about the 30% wrap fee. Libero Financial came out and said, we heard the voices, and apparently they've been getting beat up, and they dropped the wrap fee to 28% instead of 30%. And people are laughing and they're upset and they're pissed off and they don't know why there's a fee. And I did everything I could to try to help people understand. It's obvious and clear now that there are the people that want to pump and dump the thing. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to pump and dump the thing. Rich to be one day responded when I said, I want somebody to explain to me why you want to wrap up front, responded, and his or her response tells me exactly, it validates what I assumed, which is they want to pump and dump it. Here's what this person said, quote, because is spelled wrong, Libero price will fall, cause, as in a crip, it is inflationary. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming he meant inflationary. And Libera is deflatory, which isn't a word. I'm assuming he meant deflationary. And its price will increase BCS, again, misspelling because, of 25% burn rate on sale, and also you will get SEX Index, CEX, and DEX rewards from Libera and not from Libero smiley face emoji. I'm going to do the best I can here, but when you're dealing, I want to say this too. When you communicate, the best thing you can do, I know it's hard because I've said it. Our education system has failed people. I got it. When you're communicating with me, I'm going to need you to spell things out, and I'm going to need you to make sure you spell things right. Why? Because we have so many tools that help you do it. There's no real excuse not to do it. When you come and you misspell straight up words, you lose credibility in my eyes. That doesn't mean I'm not going to answer your question, and I'm going to get to the answer. I'm saying if you reach out, I'm going to need you to spell things correctly. I'm going to need you to take the time to make sure that your messaging is professional and correct. Don't come back, it's just tweet or deep, deep, deep. Communication is a critical skill that will help any and everybody. And I'm going to continue to enforce this because I do understand that the education system, I can tell they're in the U.S., education system in the U.S. is failing people. I actually have followers on Twitter from China, and they write better than these dudes or ladies. And so that's why it's frustrating. It's like you're making us look like outlaw mud show freaks. And that's what we got to stop, folks. When you send your message, make sure that you are spelling things correctly and use the tools available for you to help you learn how to spell right. Twitter, actually, even the browser, will flag you when you spell stuff wrong. So chances are he added those as, oh, this must be a word because I think it's a word. Deep, deep. Let's break down what he's talking about. Quote, Libero price will fall. This is a lack of understanding of the way volume works. Price of a cryptocurrency. And I'm going to steer you to a YouTuber. His name's CoffeeZilla. He's one of the most popular ones out there. He's got like 1 million followers. Though that doesn't matter, I'm just calling out that he's been around a long time. He's one of the most popular. He did very good coverage on Safe Moon. He's done great coverage. And he has a really good setup. I want to talk to him about his green screen techniques. Regardless, amazing setup. He broke down in one of the Safe Moon videos the way that liquidity pools work and ratio of the liquidity pool and how that correlates to the price that you see. And I encourage you to take a look at this. Suffice it to say, Libero right now, the price is at near rock bottom. And when I say rock bottom, it's still significantly higher than many other tokens, but it's near its pre-sale price. When I say quote rock bottom, it's near the pre-sale price. Rock bottom would be zero. It's not at zero. It's near the pre-sale price. It would be like there was another pre-sale that took place. That's where it is right now because of what I believe a couple factors. Number one, the bear situation we got going on right now. People selling crypto, which I speculated was because of tax season. Two, I theorized that people might be doing an arbitrage where they're selling their Libero to buy into Phantom Libero. I can't prove it. I theorized it. Three, FOMO off the red candles, where people stopped buying into the project because they saw red candles because a lot of other projects are subject to the same FOMO. Now, the price falling when Libera was announced, and they said that wrapped Libero is Libera now. Okay, that's basically the same thing. You're taking Libero, existing Libero, and you're wrapping it in Libera. They would have to take some of the Libero in order to create the initial inventory of wrapped or Libera. That means they had to take that from somewhere. It had to come from somewhere. So either they have to buy it, which it didn't look like they did, or take it from the existing liquidity. In one of their mediums, they called out that they did take some of the liquidity in order to spin up this Libera, because again, it is wrapped Libero. That means it's basically supply that's taken out of circulation while it's wrapped. Okay, taken out of circulation lowers volume because there's again the FOMO effect. So volume of buys and sells is down. You're taking stuff out of circulating. So the circulating supply goes down. As a result, you see price go down, and then you get the bear season activity. All of this contributes to red candles at the end of the day. But when Libera launches, I said this on the Libera video, go back and listen to it. When Libera launches, if it's done correctly, it's expected to launch at a price point very near $1 because it represents basically a bundle of Libero. And Libero is represented kind of as the equivalent to a penny in terms of US fiat, the lowest denomination of crypto, whatever that would be. And then Libera would be equivalent to the dollar, essentially 100 of Libero at the current price point. That price is subject to change. It's based on indexes. And you can see it in their dashboards about where the index sits right now. The index is steadily increasing. Do you know what that means? That means that if they're able to pull off the exchanges correctly, and if they're able to maximize the number of exchanges it's on, and if the exchanges do their job marketing it correctly, Libero has no choice but to start jumping back up again. However, when you think about a rebase token, the rebasing is built to target a certain price. In Libero's case, we know what that is. It's a penny or shortly higher. That's its target. So the rebase is going to adjust the supply in order to make sure it hits or gets somewhere close to that target price at all times. Titano's target is somewhere in the range of about 10 cents to 20 cents. Seifu never set one. That's why Seifu was able to get to unreasonable levels, because they never set one. They just let it grow to an unsustainable level. Now, if you accept what I'm describing, that Libero's target is 1 penny, and then Libera should launch somewhere near $1, that tells you that the more wrapped Libero that's circulating out there as this thing starts jumping and pumping, and as people who are in it or want to be in it buy Libera to get basically things at bulk and then unwrap it, you're going to see the volume of Libero skyrocket, which means its price is going to jump. Its price cannot go above whatever the target is. They can adjust the target all they care to. As it stands, it doesn't look like they have. It looks like they're still targeting 1 penny per, from what I see in the chart movement. If everything I'm saying is correct, and again, this is my analysis of it, if everything I'm saying is correct, you're going to see when Libera launches, immediately there's going to be some FOMO buys into Libero. The FOMO buys are going to be people who are buying major bags, and these are people that don't care about fees or gas or any of that crap. They're just going to FOMO buy because they see that it's at a low price compared to Libera. Then they're going to go and wrap their Libero to Libera to try to basically, you know, exploit the price difference. This is what I think people are trying to do. And the reason certain people are salty is because they're already holding bags of Libero and they assume that they can exploit the price difference to make some profit off of it. So when he says Libero price will fall, he's wrong. If Libera is able to succeed, it cannot do because of the fact that what you're dealing with is a bundle of Libero at the first place. It's going to increase its volume. So that doesn't make any sense. We'll test it. Quote, Libero is inflationary. Libera, he said inflatory. I'm saying he assumed it's inflationary, and I wanted to learn something. Inflationary, and Libera is, he says, deflatory. I assumed he meant deflationary. He's correct. Libero, as built, is an inflationary token. Libera, as built, is a deflationary token. The flaw comes from what he says next. Quote, and this is Libera, its price will increase because of 25% burn rate on sale. Here's where he goes wrong. The price is not going to increase because of the burn. The price is going to increase based on circulation. So you got to understand when you're dealing with a constrained supply, the perceived value of a thing goes to how available that thing happens to be to you. That drives price. So if we know out there, let's say there's a million of something, and it's something that, okay, there's 100 billion people out, and everybody wants one of that something. Obviously, no, not everybody can have one of that something. So what happens? The person who's selling is going to sell for profit. They're gonna price it higher because they know you really want it. Here's the best example, the PlayStation 5, and pretty much every console, but PS5 is arguably the worst. What happens? You get scalpers. They stockpile it because they're sneaking in there and they use bots and all these tricks to get it at market rate. Then they try to sell it to you on a $500 premium, knowing full damn well it ain't worth it, but they know because there's so many people desperate to get one that there are people out there going to buy one because their kid is screaming about getting it for Christmas, because Christmas is the time that you would want to try to make your kid happy. This is basic scientific, right? There's no illogic to what I'm describing. It's not about the burn. It's about the scarcity and circulation and availability and what's available for sale. That's why being on centralized exchanges changes the game in terms of volume, because there's going to be people buying and selling, and certain of those people are going to be helping to push the price up of Libera. But here's the problem that you're missing, folks. Because Libera is nothing more than a bundle of Libero, the price movement positive of Libera spikes the price of Libero. They are correlated. They are directly correlated because Libera cannot exist without Libero. That's what you're missing. It doesn't make sense to say, I'm just going to go after Libera because it's going to go up. That doesn't make any sense. That's saying, I'm just going to go after the dollar because the penny's going to go down. Doesn't make any sense. You've got to visually correlate the two because they are linked. They're linked together. Libera cannot exist without Libero. Libero can exist without Libera, but Libero benefits from Libera's activities. We can test that out. His final one, quote, you get CEX and DEX rewards from Libera, not from Libero. He's partially correct, partially wrong. Here's where he's correct. It is true that as built, Libera is what is going to benefit on the reward side from the centralized exchanges. That is true. However, because Libera is essentially a bundle of Libero, it means de facto Libero is going to also benefit from those rewards for anybody who's holding it, because anybody who's holding Libero is going to get increased volume on the Binance rewards because its volume has now skyrocketed. There's a difference, and I'm trying to simplify the numbers. Without the image, it's hard, and I want them to pay up so we can get this done. But there's a difference when you're trading 10,000 Libero as a single transaction, and that's it, versus I traded 10 Libera, and it's got 100 in there, or 1,000 in there, rather. I trade 10 that's got 1,000 Libero in there. That Libera can have whatever price you want it to have because it's on a centralized exchange. They can price it whatever they want. Libero doesn't have that benefit. Libero can only be priced based off of the circulating supply and activity and volume and liquidity. Libera increases that traffic, it increases that activity. So while it is inflationary, and this is true, it's not inflationary the same way that you might treat something like Doge, where it's got truly there's no ceiling on this thing and it's going to be whatever. They've built it to target a certain price. Once it hits that price, then there's the rebase that kicks in. And the rebasing is designed to help keep that price. And yes, they could change the price. There's no incentive to change the price. As it stands, as I said, it looks like they're targeting a penny at this point. None of this matters because at the end of the day, you want to hold a lot of Libero because Libero is still paying you in Binance USD, which is a stable amount of money. It doesn't matter if it's inflationary at that point because remember, regular fiat doesn't do that for you. Even if you toss it in a bank, it's a garbage rate. It's not close. That's what people are really missing. They're missing the fact that it's all interconnected. It's all joined together. You cannot succeed in one without succeeding on the other. One is pushing the other one. And ultimately, they're benefiting you on the back end. And regardless of any of this, my point about wrapping up front is I'm trying to dumb it down, and nobody has been able to answer this question to my satisfaction. What is the problem with just holding your Libero and buying Libero off to the side? Why would you want to get rid of your Libero? His or her response tells me he doesn't see value in Libero anymore. And that's the flaw because you're missing out. You don't understand the way compounding works. You don't. So that's my response to Rich to be one day, who's not going to be rich thinking the way he does. But this inspired me. I'm going to try my best, and this I will do. I'm going to try my best to create a separate upload that talks around compound streams, like separate streams of income. And I'll do the best I can to try to help because it's the only way I can get people to understand because I still struggle. And like I said, I want that smoke. Anybody, comments below, comments on our site, cryptotalkradio.net. I want that smoke. I need somebody to help me understand why there's such this fervent push and adamant desire to wrap your Libero up front instead of just buying it from the freaking exchange to get Libero straight out. Keep your Libero and ignore it. Let it sit there and keep paying you and just go buy Libero. Why not? Why are you not wanting to do that? I want the smoke. I still have not hit a satisfactory answer, and I suspect it's because you don't have one. You don't even know why. You're reacting. You're FOMO reacting. Stop it. Stop FOMO reacting. It doesn't matter. You should not be treating this as another token to pump and dump. You should be treating this as something that is designed to benefit what you already have, but also reward you in additional rewards off to the side to create multiple streams as designed. They straight tell you that on the site. If you read their 4 or 5 images they have, they tell you that's what it's for. So unless you have a strong reason why you don't want multiple streams, if you were, most people here are 9 to 5 or whatever. If you were not working for a living, why would you not want 6 different sources of paychecks? Answer it that way. Let's keep it that simple. Why would you not want, if you could have 6 different paychecks, tell me why you would not want that. Tell me why it's bad other than the taxes. Tell me why it's bad. That's the challenge. That's the call to action. Anybody wants to smoke? Comments on cryptotalkradio.net. Answer it as simple as that. Ignore Libero for now. Answer is like that. Why don't you want 6 paychecks?